Hey there, artsy friends. I am starting a brand new composition notebook art journal. This is the first page, first video of a new series. So I kind of have three things going on right now. I've got a new composition notebook, I have a big square journal, and I am doing lots of collaging. So I already prepped this composition notebook, and I will put a link down below if you want to see that process. And then on Marketplace, somebody was selling their barely used Posca markers for $30. There was 28 of them. So I was like, yeah, okay. And so I'm going to start playing around with them and see if there's any colors that I don't already have. And then I found this treasure. Probably at a thrift store because that's where I get everything. And it's like kind of like an adult coloring book, but it already has a bunch of patterns already in it. I don't know. So I just chose one of those. So I'm going to start my spread with collage, and sometimes I use color, sometimes I don't. I am really just playing today and making it super simple and not overthinking it. So you saw kind of a glimpse of the finished page, and it's very just anything goes. There was no planning involved, really. It's actually been a while since I have sat down and had some of my artsy playtime, and I just needed to play. I just needed to not put any pressure on myself to come up with some kind of design or idea. It's like, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to just start gluing things on. And it's nice to have kind of a go-to process where you don't have to plan or think. And for me, it starts with collage and then paint and then stencils or stamping or doodling. And you can just follow that pattern and make a million different pages, and you could just continue to do that for the rest of your life. Okay, so the next thing I grab here is a maze book, and I'm just choosing this one, and since it's not a very large page to tear apart, I'm just going to tear it into 3 pieces and kind of just spread them around. Now, I know that I'm going to be covering up my collage somewhat. I usually try to leave some transparency in the paint layer that I do next so that you can kind of see some of the patterns. And then when you get to the doodling stage, it's kind of fun to, trace around some of the shapes. And yeah. So these red papers are from a security envelope. And now I've got some old maps, and I am trying a paintbrush, an old paintbrush with the Mod Podge to do my collaging, because one of you guys recommended I should try that, because I normally use a sponge, and they're like, girl, you need to use a paintbrush. It goes by way faster. And I would have to agree. I think if I'm going for speed, of course, this video is way sped up because otherwise it would just be way too long in real time. But it does go well. I think maybe I will use a brush more often. And here is an old guitar chord song sheet. I play guitar, I lead worship. And so often I misprint or I have to change things. And so, so I'm using that with some collage and just filling it in. And I don't worry about every square inch of the page. There could be some gaps. So then I'm just taking in some white paint, and I did dip my brush in the water a few times because it's acrylic paint, which is water-based, just to kind of thin it out a little bit, because I don't want it to be too opaque. Like I said, I wanted it to kind of just tone down all the background a little bit, but this is a paper towel that I'm kind of rubbing some of it off. Okay, so on the left there, that glass jar, it used to be a candle, I think, and now it holds all my Posca markers. And I'm just comparing what I already have to what I just got used. And so I'm trying to find if there's any colors that I don't have. And I think I had this turquoise. In fact, I'm pretty sure I had it, and it was like my favorite color. And so it was like the first one I ran out of. Yeah. So a lot of this is experimenting. So I come up with a few colors. I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there were 6 colors that I didn't already have. So yay. And these are some of them. So you'll either find my technique kind of annoying because I'm not really giving you any specific direction but I would encourage you to try this. Just, if it bugs you to not have like pretty pages, then just do it in a junk journal. A junk journal. Get it? A junk journal. But like just play like you're a 2-year-old who doesn't have a clue what they're doing. So make shapes. Well, maybe not 2. Let's say you're 4, because now you know how to hold a marker and make a circle and a triangle. Okay, so I'm testing out these 2 colors that are like cream color, and the next one is kind of like a tan, or like almost like a flesh color. Well, if you're that Caucasian. Yeah. Okay, so these are the 5 colors that were kind of new, and then I'm sorry, I try not to babble too much. I want to, some people say they enjoy just hearing my thoughts as I go along, but most of this page is very just spontaneous. I'm trying not to overthink anything. I'm just grabbing a new color and making shapes, building off of shapes that are already there, maybe looking underneath at the collage layer to kind of show me, I don't know, where I should make some lines. I've always really enjoyed randomness, and I used this illustration a long time ago, I think, in one of my videos, but I love nature, and one of the things I love when I'm just hiking out in the wilderness, like just stopping and looking at how everything just seems so perfect and balanced, but yet, every rock is in a random place. Every weed that's growing, plants that are growing on the forest floor, there's order, but yet there's just like this beauty to, and maybe random's not the right word. Do you know what word I'm looking for? Okay, so some of my collage overlapped, and so I trimmed off the edges, and then when I turned it over, if you'll see here in a second, that those green swirls on the bottom were pretty liquid, and so they ran on the page, which I actually love. I think it's really cool. And that's kind of one of the things, if you're going to do an exercise like this where you're just literally just scribbling and playing and relaxing your mind, like there are no mistakes, especially on a page like this. It's just play. All right. I don't really have a lot to say, so I guess I'll just put on some music, and if you enjoy watching this crazy process and you're inspired, go give it a shot. Yeah. You can even just do it on a piece of paper you're going to throw away. If you're worried about if you have any perfectionism in you, or it just drives you crazy because you want to plan everything. Or maybe this isn't the right kind of page. Or if you like just the graffiti look, you can always just follow along and, make a circle where I make a circle, or a petal, or a triangle, or a stripe. I don't know. Just have fun. Go make some art. I will talk to you in a bit. Okay, so I decided to do a quote on the page, and instead of writing it directly on the page, I'm going to write it on a separate piece of paper and cut it out. If you saw the mini journals that I just made for my friends, I did this a lot with their titles, and I liked how it popped. And then I can kind of play around on the page and decide where I want to put it. So now my spread has basically become like almost like a background to my quote. So I like this quote. The body heals with play, the mind heals with laughter, and the spirit heals with joy. So yeah, I'm just going to play around, see where I like it, and then cut each one out. Actually, I decided that I'm just going to write them all in pink because I don't know, I just really love the pink on black. Okay, that just about wraps it up. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope that you enjoyed watching my process and that you're inspired to go make some art. There's kind of a high def thing. Also, thought I'd give you a little glimpse under the black light since I used a lot of paints that are neon paints or glow paints. So yeah, I probably won't do this whole glow journal like I did before, but yeah, thought that was just kind of fun. All right. Well, have a blessed day, and I look forward to hanging out with you again.